Basic Instinct is a movie that grabs the viewer from the very beginning and does not let him relax until the very end. The plot of the movie revolves around a detective who investigates a brutal murder of a rock star, and his involvement in a dangerous game with the main suspect, a beautiful and mysterious writer. The movie begins with the murder of a rock star who was killed with an ice pick on the night of passionate sex with an unknown blonde. The detective who is leading the case faces difficulties due to his recent injury. He accidentally shot two hikers during a shootout. This leads to him becoming the subject of an internal investigation, and his reputation and career are jeopardized. The center of the investigation is a beautiful and mysterious writer who was the girlfriend of the murdered rock star and the prime suspect in his murder. She writes novels about brutal murders that are similar to what happened to the rock star. This leads the detective to suspect that she may be involved in the crime. However, the writer actively cooperates with the police and develops a friendship with the detective. She charms him with her beauty, intelligence, and sexuality, and they embark on a passionate affair. The detective becomes increasingly obsessed with the writer, and this interferes with his professional judgment. During the course of the investigation, the detective learns of the writer's dark past. It turns out that she was involved in the death of her parents, who were killed in a car accident when she was a teenager. In addition, he learns of her connection to the ex-girlfriend of a rock star who was also killed with an ice pick. All evidence points to the writer being a cold-blooded killer who uses her lovers and acquaintances as victims for her novels, but the writer isn't the only suspect. There is also a psychologist who works with the detective to help him overcome his trauma. The psychologist is secretly in love with the detective and becomes increasingly jealous of his relationship with the writer. The detective begins to suspect that the psychologist may be involved in the murders and that she may be trying to frame the writer. The movie reaches its climax when the detective and his partner ambush the writer at her mansion. They find evidence of her guilt, but the writer manages to escape. In pursuit of her, the detective is trapped in an elevator where he is attacked by the mysterious blonde who killed the rock star. The detective kills her, but realizes it was just a friend of the writer who the writer used as bait. The writer returns home and finds the psychologist there, who tries to kill her. There is a fight between them, during which the psychologist wounds the writer with a knife. But the writer manages to overpower the psychologist and kill her. When the detective comes to the crime scene, he finds the psychologist dead and the writer wounded. Despite all the evidence against the writer, the detective cannot believe that she is guilty. He is in love with her and is willing to risk his career and life to protect her. He decides to destroy all evidence of her guilt and help her escape from the country. The movie ends with the detective and the writer riding in a car on the highway. They are discussing how they managed to fool the police and escape from justice. The writer tells the detective that she still loves him, but that she cannot live without danger and risk. She suggests that he play a game that could lead to their deaths. The detective agrees and they drive further into the unknown. Basic Instinct is a movie about manipulation, sex, and violence that makes viewers think about how far people are willing to go to achieve their goals. The movie also raises questions about morality, ethics, and responsibility, and shows how easily people can become victims of their own passions and desires. This movie has been a catalyst for many future films that explore similar themes and use similar techniques. It sparked a lot of controversy and discussion, and is now considered one of the most iconic erotic thrillers in movie history. The movie grabs the viewer from the first minutes and does not let go until the very end, leaving a deep mark on the film industry and culture as a whole. The movie brings up many important themes such as bisexuality, sadomasochism, and feminism. The movie touches on these topics so blatantly that it causes a lot of controversy and discussion. It also raises questions about morals and ethics, and shows how easily people can become victims of their own passions and desires. Overall, Basic Instinct is a movie that grabs the viewer from the very beginning and does not let him relax until the very end. It is a story about manipulation, sex, and violence that makes viewers think about morals, ethics, and responsibility. The movie also shows how easily people can become victims of their own passions and desires. The movie has been a catalyst for many future films that explore similar themes and use similar techniques. It sparked a lot of controversy and discussion, and is now considered one of the most iconic erotic thrillers in film history.